Hey guys, the Anonymous Monk here. Alright, here we go. I kind of got off track on the last tape. I apologize for getting off on a tyrant with the Protestants. Completely got me off. So, let's get back to the dark night of the soul. Let's say, I think I talked enough about it. I think what happens at the end of the dark night of the soul is you should be completely broken in spirit and completely humble and completely pliable and ready for the Lord to be able to mold into what He wants. That's what the dark night of the soul is for. To get that secular mind broken down, that self-righteous, self-willed, that wants its own will, that's got to be taken out. You understand? It's just, it's like a moth going to a flame. It just will kill you. That's all it wants to do. Do you understand? That's the nature of the beast that we have inside us. And if your mind thinks like that, it'll drag your soul right down to hell. That's what it'll do. You understand? That mind of yours is your own worst enemy. If it wasn't, you'd have the most marvelous, wonderful life, and you'd be loved by everyone, because you would do everything perfect. But you don't. You got a fallen heart. So at the end of the dark night of the soul, you should be completely humble under the Lord, and completely broken in the spirit of lust. That's what you're breaking, the lust. And the lust doesn't mean just sexual. It's materialism is a lust. Lust for people, lust for things, lust for money, lust for power, lust for fame. A lot of lust for fame with the young generation. They think they're above it all, but they are addicted to fame. They're obsessed with fame because they feel so worthless. That's basically the society they were given and developed by the death of culture. Now, it makes them all feel worthless. They think by the TV and everything that they're great, but no, if you really look down deep, they're nothing, and they know it. And that's why they all do the same thing, and they think they're being unique. I mean, if you put a stud in your nose, you think that you're unique when thousands and thousands of you do it with the same thing. It's just like, it's all rebellion. You're all pissed at your parents, basically, and pissed at God, and you're going to do what you want to do. And basically, your soul will pay for your actions. And for this little bit of piss off you have, you're going to have an eternity of dealing with it. So hopefully at the end of the dark night of the soul, you are ready to become holy, ready to walk the holy path. You should see all your horrible, evil ways. Know that you can't do it right. Know that everything you do, we're all Midas. You didn't know that? Midas, he touches everything gold and turns to garbage. That's what we are. That's what we do. Do you understand that our fallen nature destroys everything? A beautiful flower, for Beauty and the Beast. That you could see some insight to the human nature, and you could see some things with good and evil and God and everything in that Beauty and the Beast. Okay, he picks the flower. The father, Belle's father, picks the flower, and he's like, just a flower I picked. That's the mentality of a secular mind. Just a flower? Like, I could take something, kill something, because I think it's insignificant. Disregarding with another might view that as the most precious thing in the world. You see? That's a secular mind. Belle's father is the secular mind that you all have if you don't love God. You understand? You make up your mind what's good, what isn't, what's insignificant, and some things are insignificant, aren't they? Some people are insignificant, some creatures are insignificant, and you're higher than mighty, not holier, higher than mighty. There's no God in a secular mind, so they make themselves God. They want to pick the flower that's insignificant. He doesn't care what you think of it. You understand? He deserved to be in prison for that. You see that? You never saw that, dude. If you know what I'm talking about, you never looked at it like that. So, God needs to crush that mind out of you. It's a disgusting, it's worse than an animal mind. It's an animal mind with evil intent. That's what it is. I keep calling it an animal mind, but it's not. Animals are wonderful, their mind. The dignity of an... See, you have dignity as a creature of God. Did you know that? And it puts you above animals. When you take God out of the equation, you lost that dignity, and now you've just become another animal. So anybody who believes in Darwin just created them. They just made themselves be a bunch of animals. Okay? So us people are holy. We believe God's over us, and we're more than that. We believe we're more than that. And you're under our control, by the way, because you're just another animal. So we should be tending to you, and we do. We pray for you. We try to help you the best we can. But you throw stones at us, you mock us. You do. That's what the secular people do. So anyway, the secular mind's got to get crushed out of you, and that's what the dark night of the soul is. Okay, plain and simple. All right, that regular mind that wants to send people to school, and I mean their kids to college, a great college, and save money and do this, and maybe write a check to a charity, but that's it, you know. And everything's me, and anything you do for your family is selfish. It doesn't count as charity. Did you know that? Any family thing is all duty. No charity involved there, right? So if you go to work and take care of a family, everything, that's all selfish. Okay? That's not like you're not given one that. Okay, so you got to turn into a communal mind, and the dark night of the soul takes that selfish, secular mind, crushes it, and now the mind should come up and say, all right, I'll do it a different way. Maybe I should love my brothers and sisters instead of disregarding them and be selfish all the time. Because you think about being selfish and go back into the world again, and you realize that you can't. Because you see yourself and you see everything, and you can't do it. Some attempt to do it, and you realize you're just too self-conscious. You can't do it. You can't do sin anymore. It's too. God sees you. You know God sees it, no matter how much you hide it. So you end up coming back. Ones who are on the holy path really come back, if they truly are. Unless they really fall, but just make it a fall and come back. You know what a fall is? You get back up again. Okay? Alright, so let's look at the times. So your secular mind should be finished at the end of the dark night of the soul. Yeah, and then the Lord will start coming back to you. He abandoned you. Blessed Mother will abandon you. They all abandoned you at this time, the dark night time. They're not available to anyway. You feel abandoned. You're alone. You feel like the Lord, you know. You're on your cross, and you're saying, why forsake me, Father? Why thou forsake me? Lord said that, because I know, I felt it. That's a part of the process. You feel abandoned, and you know He's there, and you know you have to go through it, but you still feel that way. No matter how intellectually you know it, you still feel when you're going through suffering, okay? So God pulls out, but then He comes back, okay? The lightness comes back. You don't believe it, but it does. If you pass the test. If you passed your dark night of the soul test, and you gave up all your obsessions, all your obsessions and vices. So if you pass your test, the light comes back at some point, and then light things happen in life. I mean, you get an inheritance, whatever. Things ease up. Whatever was hard now is eased up on you. You got a little levity in your life, and you can almost make some decisions, and there's some choices to make between a couple things, and You could see your life moving forward, and you get hope again, and the prayer starts coming back, the contemplation starts to be able to come back. The Lord will suddenly talk to you like, oh, hey, yeah, that's right. Hey, and then it comes back, and before you know it, you're just fully immersed in that life again, just like you had it before. But only more, it's deeper, it's realer this time. You're a little more, you're mature, you're humble. You're not taking it for granted. You're not, your ego and pride is not a big problem anymore. That's starting to fall away. That's not a, you don't get prideful anymore. You feel bad about yourself. You see your horrible self. In fact, those sins that you dug up, they're still there. In fact, you can't wait for some time to pass, so they just kind of go away in the past a little. They're ugly. And you go, and so you try to immerse yourself in some charitable actions and do good things in life, just so you don't have to think about the things that you know about yourself anymore. That's the way I did it. Immerse myself, and then some. You're just hoping for time to pass, so they're in the rearview mirror, so they're really behind you. Oh Lord, yeah, I remember that sin, but that was way long ago. Remember, Lord, that was, whew, I can't remember it. That's what you want. You don't want like yesterday, right? You see, with sin, time does help. I'm telling you that. I'm so glad my sins are 14, 15 years ago. You know how good that is? Compared to 1, 2 years ago, or 2 months ago, or 2 days ago. Do you understand? Time helps. When you're on a holy path, the more time you put in, the better you feel. And the more strength you have to go forward. See, the devil, that's why the devil keeps knocking people right down right away, you know. And what happens in sin, if you stop sinning for a while, 2 years, and then the devil gets you to do it, what he does is the next time he says, look, you already did it, come on, you're destroyed, all your virginity, your holiness is gone, you know, so just do it again. That's how he does it. So this is what it is with holiness, or virginity and holiness and all that. Once you change, once you say, God, I want to be holy from now on, I cease that life and I see the difference, God will call you a virgin from that day on. You will be considered in his eyes a virgin. That all that past is past. That's a different life. This is a new life. He gives you a new life, a new slate, a clean slate. You understand? So you could be a virgin again, man, woman. You understand? I am. Until I fall. And I could very well fall. Come on. I'm a human being. I mean, if I fall, this is all gone. You know, I lose it all. Lose it all. So time matters with your sin. Keep them as far behind you as you can. So there's the separators, which start separating. When you have to come out of the dark night of the soul, you apply yourself to the holy path. And there's where you start trying to build a distance between your old self and your new self. Okay? This whole crummy self, you could see it. And you could see like, wow, you could see clarity. This is what the Lord gave you, clarity. You could see distinctly your life standing here, this cruddy life behind you, and this clean one ahead. And you don't have these heavy desires anymore. You see, you worked on things. They're not pulling you like they used to. You're almost like at your baseline. You're almost like at a baby again. You could start again making your desires, right? And so this is where you keep clean, holy desires. You start building them up instead of the other ones. So I remember contemplating that and saying, Lord, how about sports? Because they're pretty good. And, you know, nah, no sports. Come on. And he showed me deep that sports is just an advanced version of sin. It is. I could tell you all about it, but I don't want to get there. Okay? So don't think you can come into this holy path that you're going to find divine union and meet God at the end and start doing and have some earthly, worldly things involved in it, done in a good way, for charity. Forget it. You have anything to do with the world, it must be for your child, your spouse, your relatives, somebody you're taking care of, and you know, not you. It better not be your involvement, okay? Because that'll be double-minded. When you step on the holy path, that's double-mindedness to have any affairs in the world, okay? You could do it on the first stage when you were going up to here. You could still be involved in the world with pleasures and stuff and join a team like me and stuff like that, but not from this point on. You understand? There's a difference. Okay? Difference. This is for mature men and women, warriors, real ones who will fight the devil and want that fight here. Those who don't want that, just stay back here with the women and children and pray the rosary, as Father God told me. Don't just stay here with the women and children. You'll be okay. Pray the rosary. You'll be okay. If you can't come up here and deal with this in a man-like way, with a faith, with this imagination and having divine union, if you can't do that in a manly way and take it and not waver ever, then stay here. It's okay. Just pray your rosary and stay here. But up here, this is for the big guys, the big boys, he says. The big boys come up here. All right? You want to stay there? He gives you choices. He doesn't make you do anything. And when he said that, I wanted to be up there with the big guys. Yeah, Lord, no, me, I'm big. I'll be up there. And what that meant was no doubting. Once you go down that path of having divine union, you never doubt one time that it's real or not. You understand? If you want to doubt, stay here. That's what he's saying. If you want to doubt these things are going to be real or not, stay here. He goes, just live it, and then you'll look back over your life, and you'll see the fruits of your life, and you'll know it's real. See? That's how he told me. He says, in 3 years, tell me if it's real. That's right. Every 3 years, see if it's real or not, you know? That's what I did. 3 years later, I look back, and I was like, look at my whole life. I changed a whole bunch. That was real. That's how you tell. All right, what am I at? 20 minutes again? No, 16. I'm tired of cutting these things in half. Okay. Then I got to put them on the iMovie, and it takes a half hour to make one movie, whereas these, if it's short enough, I just pop it right in. It goes. I go into the movie, and then if I go into the iMovie, I might as well put the title on there and the ending, if I'm going to put it in there and wait a half hour for it to be done. So that's why I started doing the endings in the beginning. Great. But you know, when you make a 4-minute video, everything just flies through. But when you make an 18-minute video, it comes up the whole works, evidently. Okay. All right. So the end of we're at the end of the dark night of the soul. Your secular mind should be crushed. You're starting the holy path. A mature person ready to go into divine union and have experiences inside yourself with God as a mature person. You've cleaned up your life. You've become holy. Me, I chose celibacy in the state of celibacy. Not everybody has to do that. You could be just chaste. I'm not going to talk about chaste. Chaste is you still have sexual relations, but you do it chaste. Okay? I can't do it chaste. Okay? I'm just so perverted inside I can't. I have to have my mind and fantasies and stuff like that. And if I got to do that, then I'm not really there. Then it's a weird thing, man. It's a horrible world for me. I can't go there anymore. It disgusts me. It really does. It's vulgar. I could actually get sick from thinking about it. Okay, it's a blessing to think like that. So, oh man, we're almost at the end. I'm going on 18 minutes there. Now we're at the 18-minute mark. Okay. I was just regrouping everything from my own head. Okay, now the next up. Oh yeah, now you're building a life. You're strong. You know everything. You're holy. Everything. All your learnings in the past. Now you're ready to be taught by the divinity within yourself, and that's where we'll be on the next tape. All right. I'm going to do it right now too. All right, guys.